going on, guys? KamikazeKid here, and we're back for another Cockpit podcast. And today I have a very special guest, Mr. KevGuuey.
Howdy doody, everybody. My name is KevGuuey.
Man, it's brilliant to have you on today. So, just for people who don't know, who is KevGuuey and what does he do?
Well, I am a gaming YouTuber, and I live in the US, and I just play games. I play visual novels, horror games, and games that are based around rich stories.
Oh, cool.
So,
and of all them, what do you think is your channel's main focus? Or is it just all of them is your main focus?
I think all of them is my main focus right now because I really enjoy them, and it's something that I can really put myself into when I play them.
Because I actually noticed that from watching some of your stuff, you definitely are, I'd say a novelist is the right word, or a narrator. You do readings well enough, and that's kind of a good thing to have voice-wise, and I'd say people will definitely agree with me that in the comments, hopefully. But what is that, like, is your personality shining through in YouTube? Like, for example, would you say you yourself, like the way you are in real life, that's how you are on YouTube?
Actually, yeah, that is kind of true.
That makes sense. Because it's kind of like the things you play is what you'd kind of play in, like, what I'd class as the real world anyway. You know, like personally offline in your own spare time. And it's like, why not do that all the time on YouTube anyways? That makes sense, doesn't it? Do what we love.
Yeah. That's what I think of it when I do YouTube.
That's it. So, Kev, tell me, where did the catchphrase come from? We all want to know that. That's been asked.
Well, yeah, it actually first came from with my name, KevGuuey. Before it used to be just KevGuy378. I've always used that since I was in like 5th grade, and so after a while, I joined a actually gaming community. And then eventually they kind of gave me that name, just
I see.
KevGuuey.
So it's kind of like fan inspired, you could say, or like fellow YouTuber inspired. Kind of give you kind of a small guide in the direction, like.
Within the gaming community, no one really does YouTube in there, but when I started doing YouTube, I started to think of like what would be a good name for YouTube. So there's PewDiePie, and then there's Markiplier, and stuff like that. It's kind of.
I think it's cool.
Look catchy.
Yeah, like I think what's handy as well, because Kevin is your real name, correct?
Yeah.
So similar to Markiplier in a sense, it's play on words with your name, so it kind of keeps that personal effect for you. At least from my opinion, anyway. I'm sure other people would agree. So, what is it that makes KevGuuey different from, say, Markiplier or PewDiePie or me?
I think what makes it a little different. I'm not sure if other people really express themselves that much, but I'm more, I guess, sentimental. I'm very empathetic, and I really kind of I feel for the characters that's in the game when I play.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I kind of put myself in their shoes, literally, and I kind of try and figure out what they are thinking, how they see the world.
Yeah. And would you say that when you play a game, for example, it could be a Let's Play horror or it could be a narration or whatever, when you are talking to the camera, when you're talking to the public, the fans, the people who are watching, you try your best to kind of explain that to them, that what this person might be feeling or thinking as a narration?
I kind of do both. I kind of do that to explain and also be the person at the same time. It kind of gets a little confusing, as I've noticed, that I kind of switch back and forth between that, but I try to, I guess, differ myself in those two things when I explain and be the character.
Well, that's actually very insightful, actually. So, Kev, tell me, how do you record your games? Like, the things you choose to play?
I use a program called OBS, Open
Ah,
Broadcaster,
I used that before
and
actually once. How'd you find it?
um, I used to do live streams on Twitch, but I found that really stressful because you're trying to focus on the game, and then at the same time, there's it talking to real people on real time. So it was very difficult to really focus on two things at once. So
Yeah,
that's
it's that type of thing where you need two screens, isn't it? I know Shawsy's very good at that from experience. Kind of like you have one screen on one side, or have someone there, like a secretary to answer your comments, and then like you continue to play the game.
yeah.
It is hard. It is hard to kind of keep with the comments section. So you used to use it for OBS. Oh, sorry, you used to use it for Twitch, but then you decided, okay, I'll just keep using it for game recording. Seems to have a look.
I didn't really know what other programs to really use it for because I've just been really used to OBS. So
That's understandable.
I just continued on with it.
Yeah. And did you find it doesn't like can you record at the max resolution with it? Like or it suits to your taste anyway. Like what do you record in resolution wise?
Resolution wise, I do 720p or 1080p. It really depends.
Yeah, could be on the
But then
daily.
I just render it through to make it look better and with the
Ah,
bit rate and stuff like that.
I see. Yeah, kind of make it a kind of an upscaled version, you could say.
Yeah.
I see. So I'm aware you record twice a day. Is that correct? Or you upload twice a day? Are you used to it, or is that still a thing?
I upload 3 times a day actually.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've been kind of debating between that because of I'm not really sure how how much I should really record for each session. And sometimes recordings are not that long. Like it'll be under at least 20 or so minutes. And I just kind of feel like it's not enough. But then I'm not entirely sure if that is correct on my part or what. So I kind of need to keep an eye on the analytics to kind of
Oh, I see.
see if 3 a day is okay or
I
2.
I find like sometimes the analytics can kind of give you a bad read unless you print them all out, which by the way I don't think most of us do anyway. Like nobody really does that. But with that said, I do find your sub rate is a good chunk of, well, more than us anyways, for the 3 times a day. Do you notice that as you progressed from the start to where you are now, um, did could you pinpoint that 3 videos was the cause of your large increase in subscriber rate?
I actually don't know. Maybe because when I first started off, it's very hard to get I guess get noticed.
Yeah, I think
So I
it's
think uploading more is is better when you first start off as a very small channel. But when you hear about the snowball effects on YouTube and stuff like that, how you get more and more subscribers, and then you
yeah.
just get a lot
It,
more.
it, it just kind of tumbles. Was there like
Yeah,
a tipping point where it kind of just fell into a larger number for you? And has it even frozen now? Do you find your sub number has slowed down now, even, or is it still on the continuous rise?
are you talking about the channel I have now or from before?
Well, I guess you could tell like in either one, both, like because you've experienced growth 3 times, is it, or twice? So you'd have a fair idea of kind of what your tipping point was and when it slowed down, or is it even slowing down your sub rate? Or
It's actually very different because from what I've researched and kind of figured out how YouTube works is that it really depends a lot on how old the YouTube channel is.
oh, really?
Um, because from what I've noticed is that when my first channel when I started, that was actually I don't remember how long ago that YouTube channel was.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first thing I did on that was just record a visual novel, a live stream for it on YouTube, and that was it. And then I kind of forgot about that for a little while, and then did some Twitch.
Yeah.
So I decided to come back to it, and that channel, it's been there for a while. YouTube kind of takes it as, like an authoritative channel. Like it's been there. It's
It's been through the days. It's been weathered.
Yeah, like it's been with them,
I see. Yeah. It's,
so it's
older, like, so it's more experienced. It deserves more airtime, you could say, or whatever.
Yeah, so they kind of look into that more than like people that really just start off like now, which is what I did about 2 weeks ago when I started my channel that I hope, is going to stay.
Yeah.
So that is actually going not as fast as the first channel was.
Understandable.
It's what I noticed.
Yeah. What's the count now, Subways, as of this video? Or rather, as of, like, this video will probably be uploaded later. So, as of now, when I record this with you, on the 25th of October, it's the date, this is, right? What is your sub count?
It is 298.
That's pretty good. And I guess you could say as well, a lot of people who knew you originally would, understand and go back to your channel. And then on top of that, some new people come along the way. Some people are lost, some people are gained. It becomes that, like... I noticed there was a lot of confusion actually when you moved your channel because it happened twice. Actually, you probably want to talk about that, the YouTube channel resets. So when this first happened, do you want to explain what actually happened to your original account? Or...
Well, what happened in my original account was that some of the YouTube policies that I kind of overlooked and just kind of risked it for my first channel, that kind of went poorly because I realized that I got some strikes against my account. So my account wasn't in good standing because of those policies being broken, and they were just kind of looking down on me from that. And so I got 2 strikes from it, and then I was kind of afraid that
it happened again, like, or you'd get the tour done soon.
Yeah, so I kind of decided to just move everything and just kind of replace it to into a new channel to kind of get I guess videos that wouldn't really break the policies.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And then obviously that wouldn't happen again. And then you said this incident occurred the second time, or was that it? It was just the first time?
The second time it was just I guess just re-uploading the same videos, because some of the videos that I had on my original channel, I couldn't. When I tried re-uploading the same videos that were up there, it kind of gave me an error, like they were just not allowed to do that after a while. So
I see.
that gave me an issue with that. So I kind of decided on this channel that I just kind of restart everything and
fresh,
replay.
Kind of like, whoosh.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Like, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people will be confused as to why and would probably never figured it out. So I hope if this happened to anybody, any of these 2 problems has happened to anybody, that this video would at least give some insight to them, in regards to that. And thanks for like kind of mentioning that with that. And so that was just so it was just the 2 times that happened in total. Yeah, and you feel like this won't happen again. You don't think now? You think you're in the run now? Everything's clear. No more channel bans. Like, you know how to avoid these problems now.
Yeah, I feel like YouTube has a system that like keeps track of what files are uploaded, like the names of the files that you have uploaded. It kind of keeps track of everything.
Yeah, I think that's understandable.
So like having re-uploaded the same videos is what some people had said before. That didn't work out. So.
And it's funny you say that, because I remember I was working on a Fallout video and there was a copyright incident in regards to a song in it, because I know Bethesda lets you monetize your gameplays, but what I failed to realise was some of the songs within Bethesda are non-copyright exclusive, or at least that's what I'm led to believe. I'm still confused on the matter. And I uploaded the video, and I was informed about this the second it was uploaded. So I figured I'll re-upload it again because I haven't published the first one. Oh no, sorry, I published the first one, and when I re-uploaded it again the second time, it instantly told me, after waiting an hour and a half of it, you know the way it does its uploading, like, you know, it's uploading, taking time, blah blah blah, publish.
Yeah.
So when I clicked publish, it said there was an error that occurred and the video couldn't be duplicate. The duplicate couldn't be uploaded or whatever because it was the exact same name, the exact same file, blah blah blah. So I guess, you know, that goes with your point. You can't have two of the same videos up online, and I guess having a different account with the same kind of content is technically classed as copying. For example, you wouldn't be able to just, because there's actually programs out there that let you download people's videos. So you, like, you know, there's nothing stopping most people from, say, like taking a Markiplier video and making a secondary account and using it to get subs. Do you know what I mean? Did that be caught? I think that's the reason it's in place. It's a safety mechanism for that reason, because they wouldn't need a second account. So yeah, so I'm glad we established that, because that would have caused some problems for people, and I'm glad at least now you can continue to do what you do without worry. But back to what you do. You did say you mentioned visual novels. Do you want to talk about them actually, just while we're on the subject of them? Like, so what is a visual novel?
Visual novel is pretty much just like I guess kind of like reading a book, except with a lot of actually most visual novels are like static graphics, so they're just kind of art, like anime art.
Oh, I see.
On there, and then it would just have dialogue at the bottom, and I would just read the lines that appear, or that is the main character, or it doesn't have voiceover. Then I would just kind of try and voice for those characters.
Oh, I see.
Which is most of the time females, so I had to get a pretty high pitched voice.
Can we hear an example?
An example?
Yeah.
I guess I only have one high pitched voice for a girl, so that doesn't destroy my voice. Is this? Hi there. Kind of like that. Like that kind of.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. At least because you're trying. You know, some people are just. It can be awkward listening to a guy talking, not as a girl. You know, a girl just reading as a guy, girl lines. So you're making the effort, which is good to see. And what type of stories would these be like? Because I know a visual novel, obviously, you could say is like a book in a sense, you know, but shortened down with, as you'd say, pictures or art. But what makes it like? What would be examples of what you'd look at? Like, what type of stories have you come across in your adventure so far on YouTube?
I like the ones with a lot of, I guess, emotions. Games with a lot of emotions, or games right now I'm playing. I'm actually replaying Sakura Spirit. I'm kind of just going down the Sakura series because people really enjoyed that in my previous channels.
I see.
And those are really just.
Would that be your most popular? Would you say of your videos, the Sakura Spirit series?
I think so.
That's good.
Like it's mostly just romantic comedy, kind of like that, and just kind of like
relationships, kind of, and the comedy effect that comes with it, kind of.
A little bit, like it, but except the protagonist is he doesn't get the hints from
The females.
yeah, so it's kind of like
Are
he
they,
just gets himself in like, situations that are very very provocative
oh, I see,
sometimes.
see. So
So
would you say it's kind of like the protagonist in the Sakura series would be very dumb, like dumb to um, the obvious, you could say, you know,
in a
like
bit,
like
yeah. He
someone
would
laying themselves out for him, and he's like scratching his head, like what are you playing at? Like,
yeah, pretty much he has a goal, but he doesn't notice there's anything else around that besides what he is going for.
oh, I see. Also, because Sakura Spirit does sound like a cool kind of idea, but is there any other visual novel series you're running at the minute that people might be interested in? Like, do you do Sakura Spirit and
um, Nico Para.
Nico Pirate?
No, Nico Para is like
Oh,
it means like Nico is like Japanese for cat, so like kind of like
cool.
cat paradise. Except these are like cat
Ah,
girls, so
oh, I see. No, funny enough, I have a friend. He's interested in foxes.
oh
Shout out to Killer. Anyways, he's gonna kill me for that probably. But check out his Tumblr; it's pretty cool. Yeah, no, no, yeah, but like like that's what I'm saying. Like because I'd say there is people who like that stuff, and you kind of appeal to that market of the people, and the people come to subscribe to you, and it's actually amazing to see how many people are into it. You wouldn't believe, like, isn't it? There's so many people out there that are into the kind of these types of series, like, and there's no,
yeah.
and like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. It's like an interesting novel experience, and it kind of plays on fantasy for some male and female people,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool, like you kind of like the storyteller, as you will. Funny enough, you should say that though,
Yeah.
because I'd say from reading enough of them, you might in the future decide you want to create your own series that's unique, new stories, have people write the art for you. Do you ever think of something like that?
I thought about it, and then I just kind of shot it down because my imagination for how the pathing would go would be very. It wouldn't be very like intriguing or different from what other visual novels would, already
Uh,
have.
yeah, but at the same time, it is kind of a unique thing that you bring to the table. With all this, and inventing your own could be kind of a unique way of kind of enticing a new market. People who like, with time, maybe not now, but like you might eventually think of a new unique story that could just come to mind one day, the way a novelist would, and say, "Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll have this murder scene, and next of all, it's this amazing relationship that develops between two characters, or I don't know, old flames, or etc. etc. The usual. I know a lot of it is repetitive, but a lot of stories are, but you can tell in your own unique way. Do you think? With time?
Yeah, I think it's more of the art style and I think it's voiceovers that really put
Uh,
it into perspective from what I've noticed in some of the games that I played. Like if there are no voiceovers for characters, it would be it's kind of bland
yeah,
is what I feel.
I understand. Actually, funny you say that because I'd imagine the comment section in these videos are immense. What type of things do you see our fans saying or the subscribers?
Actually, it's not really that intense right now. Um, but before there were just a lot of I guess it's my first channel. Just a lot of comments of like either positive feedback, positive criticism for what I could do better, or
Ah,
voice acting, or not, or just kind of commentating
oh, I
and
see.
speaking my mind. And sometimes I kind of lost the question in my head.
No, you're fine. I guess it's kind of like what type of comments do you see people commenting in the comment section of your videos? Like, so you're saying so far it's mainly criticism, but positive criticism, and
That was before though. I don't know right now. I don't
oh,
know because I don't really have that much access to the other channel,
Yeah.
or I don't really want to touch that
Yeah.
channel. So
Do you still do? So you do still do the narration, but like so far you haven't really seen much comments lately on YouTube. You say, is it on your new channel?
comments would be pretty much just like good video,
Uh,
or kind of just kind of saying that continue on with the this series, or I like the series, and
positive.
or yeah, right now, yeah, but eventually it'll just you'll have those people who are against it, these types of
We
things.
all get them. I think that's like learning to deal with the dislikes and the people who are willing to comment a dislike, which you mainly because you might be like me. You see dislikes on your videos, and you wonder why someone would want to dislike a video. But at the end of the day, everybody is different, and some people just can do that. They can just click dislike and not care. It's understandable. Like I wouldn't judge it too much because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect anything on the video. Ironically, because likes and dislikes, dislikes don't affect anything on the video. The likes do, but dislikes wise, it actually ironically doesn't affect anything. But with that said, do you find you'd able to handle criticism well, given the nature of what you do and the expectations that you'll see in the future?
Sometimes, yeah. Because like I said, I'm very sentimental, and I'm very, I would guess like a little emotional, because I take in a lot of things sometimes, a little, or too harsh, too harshly.
Yeah.
From what it could be or what it is. So so sometimes I would think about that comment and how it really affects the video, or what I did in that video that would really cause that. But in the end, I kind of think to myself, like, this is who I am. This is my personality. Like, if I can't make everybody like me. So
I think that's true for us all, though. I mean, and the people who, I wouldn't say hate us, it's a strong word, but the people who don't want to know us, we probably don't want to know them, and that's understandable because we seek to a certain field of people. Everybody will have likes and dislikes. Not everybody likes music. Not everybody likes eating food all the time. Not everybody likes exercise. Not everybody likes games. Not everybody likes reading a book. So we all have our own different fields we kind of master, like you could say, and subcategorized. I did want to learn more about kind of the other stuff you do. You said games with rich taste in them or rich stories. Is that was obviously just the Sakura thing, Spirit, was it, etc. We already covered that, did we?
we I think we covered the soccer games, about just kind of, it's not really a rich story, but I do enjoy visual novels, like
Yeah.
like before, like I guess a long while ago. It was a long time ago, actually, probably a few years or so. I started just play a little bit of visual novels, because I was just kind of like, I'm just fascinated about it.
Huh.
After I did watch anime, but
Understandable.
I kind of stopped that because I just didn't really have that much time, because I actually I play a lot of games. So.
Actually, let's know, what do you play outside of YouTube yourself? Like, what games interest Kevin, the guy behind the mask?
Well, I wouldn't really say mask per se.
I know, I don't know. I said that. Ignore my stupidity. The guy behind the GOO. There we go. Future T-shirt, bang, €5.
Well, I really like Nintendo games, actually.
Mario or
yeah, I like I play a lot of Mario Maker right now, actually.
Mario Maker. I actually would love to buy a Wii just to play that, or a Wii Play or whatever it's called now. They keep changing.
A Wii U.
A Wii is a Wii U or
yeah, Wii U.
I think we used to have one of them, but I can't remember. They're cheap enough though. What's Mario Maker like? Is that in use?
It came out like about actually a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just Mario, except you could just create levels yourself, and then you can upload them and play other people's levels and stuff like that.
Is it hard to make a map, or is it like kind of?
Not really. It's very simple.
Okay.
There's, a lot of pictures, and then you just kind of place and drop kind of those.
Sounds like a plan. I'd love to play that one time. So Mario's one of the first games I played. Not the first, but it's up there. It's one of the first 5 probably. Yeah. And growing up, like, what would have been your first game to play ever?
My what?
Oh, your first ever game you played growing up. Like.
Oh, my first?
Yeah.
The first game I've ever played?
Oh, yeah, the first game. Sorry.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, I was like that, don't worry. I was like that. I took ages to decide, was it Sonic, was it Mario, or was it Mortal Kombat? But I'm pretty sure it was Sonic.
I think my first game that I played was Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
Nice. Good classic.
I think that was the first game I played.
That was like...
Yeah.
Because I remember playing one of them, and I can't remember what was that one or not. That was the one where you go onto the ship, is it? There's a ship you go on, or that could have been the third one. You go onto a ship and you fight some dinosaur with a wand.
Oh, that's a third one. That's Super Mario Brothers 3.
I definitely played that at an early stage. I can't remember if I ever played the first or second one. Is the first one good as well, yeah?
Are you saying Super Mario Brothers?
Super Mario. The first one you played. Is that?
Oh, the first one I played.
Super Mario World.
I mean, Super Mario World. That's after they made Super Mario Brothers 3, because that was for the NES, the regular Nintendo.
Oh.
And then when they made the Super Nintendo, that was, I think, their first game that they made for it.
Ah, cool.
When it first came out.
You'll have to forgive me because, like, for all I know, I could have played it, and because it's not here in front of me, the nostalgia isn't kicking in. I do recall playing a lot of Mario games, but a lot of them do... I find a lot of them to be similar. The only thing I could distinguish was Donkey Kong was definitely a unique game from Donkey Kong 2, because, you had the little guy following you.
Yeah, it's just different characters. I remember those.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, and 3 were just different. But I really liked 2, actually, the second Donkey Kong, just because of the soundtracks.
Yeah. I do really, because you'll always get these nostalgia things that kick into with early games, and they'll always stick with you for life. Like, I always remember in Donkey Kong 1, there was a swordfish you could, like, get on underwater, I believe. I think his name was Eduardo, I think. He had a name? Oh.
Yeah, they're names.
I didn't know they had names. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, they had the booklets. It was in the booklets. I remember reading those.
You see, I was that poor. All my consoles were like handed down to me without booklets or covers. For the. So it was just like I had a list of the games. You're piled up, and then chuck them in. It's fun though. Good childhood. Yeah. Kind of, and now like games are just digital and it's hard to remember them. And
there's just no more booklets.
Yeah, for the purpose of talking about games that are relevant to kind of what you like, have you ever heard or played a game called Broken Sword?
Broken Sword.
Yeah, it's kind of a game like a detective game. It's hard to explain. It's very like point and click, but at the same time, there's a very good story to it, and it's like kind of like where you're solving kind of puzzles by like clicking things and adding items together to create like new items to solve puzzles. It's a game I plan on playing on the channel soon. Or if you haven't heard of it, that's cool. I wasn't sure because I thought it sounded like a game you might be into if you haven't heard of it.
Oh yeah. No, when you said that, I was thinking of Broken Age, and then I was like, wait, that's not that. That's
no, yeah, no.
So yeah, I've never heard of that.
No, yeah. Okay. Do check it out if you see it. It's very cool. But I'll go back on to kind of what your channel does because I feel like I got off track. My bad. We do it though. Like it is informal. It's real kind of relaxed, chill. Like just flying by. Like put Huniepop. That's on your channel too, isn't it? Correct.
Yes, it is.
And do you find that's popular as well on your channel? A lot of people are watching that too.
Yeah. I don't know if people like it for me or just for reasons from the game.
I find it to
So
be a popular game, just generally, just because of like the boobs and the innocent idea of how I'll use the word sex goes into a game of Candy Crush. Like I actually believe that young people who come onto YouTube will look at this game and think that playing Candy Crush on your phone is how you have sex. just thinking. Or it could be a lead on to it, but no, but like, it is an interesting enough game. Do you find that's as story driven as say Sakura Spirit or whatever, or Nico or?
well, I mean, you get more interaction in the game just by playing the puzzles, and that's the only thing you play. So, but it's very casual,
Yeah,
and in the Sakura Spirit and visual novel, it's just pretty much a lot of reading,
yeah,
and if you don't have, I guess, good audio quality to really produce the commentating or narration for it's really hard to really continue on that path.
yeah. I think I understand that actually. Yeah, which is why like I'd say if you had a choice given, you'd probably like to invest in better audio quality or even hire people to help you do voice acting with the stuff in future if your channel ever blew up in a good way.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought that much about that, but
Yeah,
I do my best to kind of improve on the quality of the microphone. So and just kind of the sound quality, because I think that's the most important in
yeah.
videos. It's just the quality. Like if you have really bad background sound or just kind of your voice is very hard to hear or just not clear, it would be very hard to really capture the viewers.
Yeah,
And
I agree. And a lot of the time, you won't know you have bad audio until you improve your audio, if that makes sense. For example, I used to have a bad microphone. Not bad microphone. I used to not use a microphone. And I was using not this headset you see now, which you can't see, but I'm using a Razer headset. But before I used this headset, and I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone for this audio, the podcast, I used to just use what's called a Venom headset, and it was just a little shitty headset that was designed to be released on multi-platforms at a cheap price, and it'd break down like within a week, which, by the way, lasted me about 3 months. From Christmas till about 3 months. Well, it was okay, like, and obviously just like that I forgot what I was saying. But more importantly, it was about audio. Then I found out that if I compared the Venom headset's audio, because I had a microphone, to the Blue Yeti audio, there was a big difference in sound. And again, if I upgrade this later to something else, I'll notice that audio difference. It's like trial and error to find out. Like, what do you use yourself for recording audio?
I use for microphone, I use I think it's called the Shure PG42.
Is that a good make?
Yeah, it's a Shure PG42 USB condenser microphone. I just found it.
When you said Shure, I was like, funny you said, over here in Ireland we have a spray called Shure for Men. It's like a deodorant.
It's Shure, SHURE. Not Shure.
Oh, sure. Sure. That's cool though. And you find it good quality for your recording anyway. You wouldn't need to upgrade it anytime soon. You feel it's doing the job you need for the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I should replace it anytime soon, because this was pretty expensive to get to upgrade.
Oh really? Does it cost much for them, or?
About probably $300.
Pretty decent. I'd say. Well, obviously, I'd say that'd be a bigger audio quality than the Blue Yeti. Then in that case, I find my Blue Yeti has a bad audio quality in the sense that it picks up a lot of unnecessary background noise that can be easily removed with other microphones. I'd say yours probably doesn't pick up too much noise, does it?
Um, it it does, but I had to kind of lower the sound and then increase boost in it. Like it was when I first got it, it was pretty hard to really tell how to really make it sound good.
Yeah, I understand.
I just did a lot of research in like what people really, compared the mics to and how well these mics are. And this is a microphone that Markiplier actually uses also with
Oh, really?
Jacksepticeye. Like
They both have
they
this.
use, yeah, they use this mic, and then I
Oh,
was kind of really debating as to like which mics to really use because I want to have a mic that I can use for a long time
true, true,
and
true.
not be pretty bad. Spend less money for an okay mic and then not be that great when I try it out. So
Yeah, I think that's understandable. Like we all kind of went with quality in some sense on YouTube. Like I invested in a camera that I ironically don't use that was expensive, but with good intention. Yeah, basically, like the idea was that it was a good quality camera that could record me for ages. Turns out digital cameras have some of them are manufactured with a time limit. Mine was a 15-minute time limit or so. So whenever it was, I used to record my early videos with them, and the camera is insane quality. It's insane how good the quality is, but because of bad lighting, they probably lost a bit of it. And on top of which, I wasn't like, you can't see yourself when you're recording it, so I had to assume I was in frame. So a lot of the time I was zoomed out, and after every 15 minutes it turns itself off. So I have to, like, I wouldn't know when it turned itself off because I have headset on. So it was just very bad.
yeah.
It just came out bad. Like, if it could infinitely record for as long as I was recording, I'd be happy. But unfortunately, I'd need to invest in a digital camera. Oh, sorry, a camera recorder or a digital camera that can record for longer. But I didn't know buying it that these had limitations because I was informed that it did the job I wanted it to do. Unfortunately, not. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
just an example of trying to get good quality. Like it is good quality, but it just didn't do the job. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's necessary to do all your background research into finding what you need for YouTube. Like I
Yeah.
got lucky with the Blue Yeti in a sense that I didn't do background research. I just found out a lot of big YouTubers like Syndicate had one and still used it, and it does the job for a cheap price. And I was like, grand. That was a good risk to take. The camera wasn't. And I'm sure in our lives we'll invest in some stupid thing that fucking breaks down. Like, I don't know. I was thinking eventually upgrading my lighting system for a softbox lighting kit, but I would imagine it would. I can see problems occurring with the likes of these things in the future, but we'll leave that for the future.
Yeah.
Speaking of the future, do you have any future plans for your channel? Do you think that, or is there anything you will see from KevGuuey in the near future?
I actually don't know. I mean, except that just continue on and uploading these games that I love playing and kind of invest myself into them. And that's the only thing I'm just kind of doing. It's just kind of living the moment, kind of living in the present and not really think about the future that much.
Yeah, it's understandable. Actually, because when you should say that, when you say living in the moment, I found YouTube to be exactly living in the moment. It is this kind of device that kind of pauses time for you for the day and keeps you occupied all the time. Do you find that's kind of why you might have started YouTube? Because it's definitely why I did. It kind of like is a distraction from the real world, all them stresses. It's like, I find it a stress reliever when I'm working my ass off on YouTube. Are you like that, or was there a different reason you started?
No, I just when I actually started YouTube, which was April. No, it wasn't April.
It was like within
Yeah,
the year,
yeah,
like about last year. Oh, not last
yeah.
year.
It's
It was
around
April, yeah.
April actually. Yeah. Well, no, this year. This
This
year, but
year.
April. Yeah. um, when I started, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Well, I just when you started 8 months ago, because that's when I started as well. Ironically, we started at the same time. Um, why you started YouTube, like.
Oh yeah, when I started YouTube, I wasn't really sure because I really love games. I'm very passionate about it. But when I was thinking of when I was thinking of YouTube, that was after I started streaming just like a little bit, and then I kind of realized that if I'm to put my effort into something, my passion into something, it's not Twitch, because it's very hard to really focus on one thing. So because on Twitch you got the chat, and then you're playing a game, and then you're kind of looking at the chat and then talking to your viewers, and it's really distracting. It's really hard. So for YouTube, I realized that it's easier to really focus on the game itself. But then again, you're talking to the camera, and that was really hard for me when I first started.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh, it's it's weird. You're talking to nobody. You're just talking to yourself, or you're talking to a camera that it's not. No one's watching right now, but later on people will watch. But it was really hard at first.
I found that, and especially kind of while you're recording, you're picturing these negative people who could be watching already commenting in your head, or people who in personal life who could be slaggers or jokers, or that could just laugh at what you do and saying, oh, how will I deal with this tomorrow? How will I deal with this? And these people see it. Did you get stuff like that in your head too?
A little bit. I did get that, but I realized that, like I said before, that you are you. You can't really change yourself because of what you want other people to see you as. You because everyone always wants to be part of something, right? So
true.
So if you want to be part of this group, for example, you want to change yourself because you're not like them, so you change yourself to be like them. But is that really you? That when you become part of the group, is that really you, or just a mask you put on?
True.
So when I started YouTube, I was also thinking about what I could really bring to YouTube, what's different. And I'm like I said, I'm very sentimental. I have lost sympathy and empathetic, and like before YouTube, I went to university for a bit. I wanted to be a nurse.
Cool. Like Scrubs type of thing.
Yeah, like I wanted to help people. I wanted to actually, specifically, I wanted to help children, because that saying, children are
the future. No, that's a good reason to sort of start it, and that's actually kind of a really good, non-selfish thing to want to do, help people. That's respectable.
That's what I wanted to do, or actually, that's what I thought I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to help people, but was nursing the right path for me? Because it was actually a big incident that happened at uni that actually made me take a break from school.
Oh, I see.
So, I'm actually gonna talk about that later on in my channel.
Yeah, it's understandable. You don't have to say it, no.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing one of those, I guess. I won't spoil it, but
no, you're okay. The irony being that this might come out ages after you probably reveal it, considering all for my October month I would have been playing a playthrough for Outlast, etc. So this could be a November video, but not to make people think this is a past thing or that we're not here. We are still here, and you're still listening to us and talking. It's a discussion show. It's just pre-recorded in advance for the purpose of being able to get it done, because Kevin and me have different time zones we have to work through, and this is the best time we can record. I wouldn't say reveal it anyway, because obviously just in case this comes out before you reveal it. But would you say the incident made you feel that maybe nursing isn't your path, or be it for a social reason and or just being capable of giving that time up for people, because it's a very time consuming thing.
Wait, what is?
Oh,
What are you referring to?
like, because just the incident. I wouldn't say the incident to
Oh,
reveal it, but would you say the incident, whatever it may be, made you realize that this is definitely not what you wanted? Or you're still debating it to this
yeah.
day?
I for nursing, I kind of realized that it wasn't something that I wanted to continue after that incident,
Yeah.
because it was just very stressful to me.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Like, it's high pressure within, the school of nursing to really, do your best.
Yeah.
It was just really hard because when you want to do your best, you start. Well, to me, I started comparing myself to others, and then it was very hard to, I guess, be like them, to be really, excel like them, to really, be at the
Yeah.
top.
I find sometimes
And
there's people in life you come across who, even in studies or be it in the real world or in anything, and they have this adept ability to want to do this one thing that you thought you wanted to do. You got to do this one thing, someone does it better than you, and it pushes you down a step in yourself, saying, maybe this isn't for me. And at the same time, maybe it still is, but, we are still people who are trying to find what we want. Not everybody knows what they want to do in life. I for one, are one of the people who change my mind all the time. One minute I want to be a wrestler, next minute I want to make a YouTube channel. Jesus Christ. But as an example. But yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like, at least you found out before it was too late it wasn't what you wanted to do. And now you're doing what you love to do. And I'd say this is definitely something you're going to continue, this YouTube thing.
Yeah, this is what I actually am passionate about. And then also from from the big YouTube gamers, they do a lot of charity streams and stuff like that. And I thought of, that could be one of the ways I could help people, to do charity streams, to do that. And also talk about, I guess, myself and kind of try and help others, because what impacted me the most was one of Markiplier's charity streams, was the Bipolar and Depression Alliance.
Yeah.
Because of I've dealt with depression before. Like, I've had depression for a long time.
Yeah.
And that really because Markiplier has never had depression, from what he's said. That he's never had it, and since I've had it before, and I thought of, I've been in their shoes. I've been in people's shoes that
who deal with that.
Who deal with that every day still. I'm actually a lot better from it.
Well, it's good to know you're recovering from it wherever it started and all. At least the main thing is that at least now you're kind of to a stage where you've dealt with it, and you could say you've moved. I always find that people who I talk to who talk about depression say it never leaves. It's always still there, but it's learning to live with it. I don't know if that's correct in saying.
I think it's more of just have a different mindset.
Yeah.
Because of there's a lot of therapies out there. There's a lot of therapies and medication that does help. And I'm off the medications, and the therapies that I've had, there were just a lot of different ones. It's very hard to really figure out which one is correct for you.
Yeah.
Well, but what I thought was what was good for me was actually not from therapy, but because therapy was their therapy was like behavioral therapy. That was like, I guess, the number one thing that that people I guess not expect, but people that helps people, I guess. And that was the therapy that they thought was good for me. But what was good for me was oh geez, I forgot what the term is. Oh, mindfulness-based therapy.
Mindfulness based. And what does that entail?
It's pretty much just um, changing your mindset about everything. Of like, because of depression. Depression is, I don't know if it's how people see it, but depression is when you just feel really down. You don't know what to do. A lot of times you're just kind of lost. And I read this book. It's called the Hapiness Trap. That's actually the book that really helped me the most. If people had depression, I would really recommend that book. I'm not sponsored by them, but any,
I think.
well,
I think.
no,
Well,
but
what's the name of the book? The say again.
the Happiness Trap.
What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below for people to kind of look at that book for that purpose in this video.
Yeah,
So that might help.
yeah that that book really helped me through a lot of the thoughts because for my depression, I really thought about the past a lot. You know, the past where mistakes I've made, burdens, guilt, regret. A lot of those really come back to you,
Yeah.
and and I kind of found a way in that book to really just kind of push it away. To kind of because the past is in the past. You can't change the past, but these are just pretty much just words if you really think about it. Like, because I've actually been bullied before in high school, so that was kind of rough. And then those really get to you when incidences in the past, or when you're a child, incidences really affect you a lot psychologically, emotionally, and those are the things that really came back to me. So by really pushing the words, seeing those thoughts as just words and nothing else, just kind of made it easier to really get past it all.
That's good then. Like I think it's brilliant that there's answers out there for people with depression that people can learn to change their mindset and then recover from it, move on, and that there is different ways of dealing with it that people might not have tried. So that's good to know that there's different types of help for different types of people. And I'm glad that you have recovered from this because no one deserves to go through it. Unfortunately, some people do. It's just the way some people are born as well as things in life. Some people deal with it, some people don't. But I'm glad to know that you recovered from it, Kev.
Oh, thanks.
No, not a problem. Two last things before we go. The horror games, because that's the last thing I know that your channel contains. Is there anything you want to say about that before we move into the goodbye me?
Horror games. That's a really interesting place to go. So, for me, actually, because of I get scared very easily. I get very paranoid. I get very especially with games. Horror movies, not really, because I've never been afraid of horror movies because I see it as, since I can't control anybody, I can't control anything within a movie. It's kind of like you expect things that are gonna happen, jump scares that's gonna happen in the movie or stuff like that. Like I expect what's gonna happen, but in games, it's really difficult to know because those are just random. You can't really expect things in games because they could just pop up anytime.
Yeah, I find that especially with like stuff I'm playing at the minute because, as I said, this is recorded Halloween October month, and I'm doing all the horror games for this month. And Jesus, like, just when you play them one after the other as well, you think you know a game, you don't know a game. It comes back in fucking insane out of nowhere jump scares or unexpected twists. So they are interesting, I do find. If you agree, like.
Yeah, they they are very interesting, especially if you jump from one game to another. There's just different scares, different paranoia that surrounds you. And well, like I said, I put myself in the character's shoes.
Yeah.
So I really focus in the game. I really focus what's around me and what could or couldn't happen or is or isn't. and then I kind of get really paranoid as to like, maybe this is what's gonna happen. Well, no, that didn't happen. Well, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen now. And then I just kind of I get carried away into the paranoia, and that's good for the viewers, but it's not good for me.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing of be careful when you play them. I guess that's why you don't play them as much as you do. Probably, obviously, your favorite thing is the novels, but I'd say it's this thing of you like the adventure now and again, and you'd be like, okay, people will like this. Just give them what they want. Bang, horror game. Is there any horror games you like playing? Like probably your favorite one? They might have recorded already, maybe.
I actually do I really do enjoy horror games.
Yeah.
I just don't. When I play them, it's a different thing. Like before you play, you're like, oh man, this isn't gonna be bad, And then when I actually start playing it everything just comes back,
Yeah.
into, oh well, this is great. I'm not ready for jump scares.
No, that's understandable. But like, hopefully, we'll see more of them as well, because they're really fun, and I'd say you do them pretty well the way you narrate.
It's the, I think the reason people love the scares, I guess. I kind of like it a little bit, not really as much, but it's more like for the adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
Yeah, that rush. It's like, oh man, you got frightened, you got pushed, kind of like that.
No, I think that's the thing, yeah. So you'd like a horror game where you can actually fight back, in a sense? Like Resident Evil, perhaps? As opposed to like Amnesia, where you can't do fuck all, or Slenderman?
I actually enjoy games that you can't really fight back, because that gives it more of a...
mental trauma.
It gives it more of the horror edge to it.
Yeah,
because when you're able to fight back, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. After like you're able to kill something that's scary, and then it just doesn't really get to me, because Resident Evil is just, well, unless you're talking about the first game, then that one's different actually. The first Resident Evil compared to anything from 4 and after, that's just all action. But like 1 to 3, those,
the classics.
Yeah, those are the classics that
will always stick with us.
Yeah. When I first played that was actually, I never got past like at least 30 minutes of Resident Evil 1.
Oh really?
That like Resident Evil 1 I played for 30 minutes. This was like a long time ago, and I never went back to it. So I've actually been thinking of maybe going back to it, but then there's gonna be a lot of backtracking that's probably gonna occur in that.
I'd say it'd be grand. Like personally for me, I whenever I try to go to play 1, 2, or 3, if I see a Resident Evil dog, the console gets switched off. I will not tolerate zombie dogs in any game of that matter. If I see a zombie dog in a game, I will turn that console off. If someone asked me the reason I won't someone asked me to play Resident Evil 2 on my channel, the reason I will not is because I know that near the start of the game I will see a zombie dog and I'll be like, nope, fuck it, and it'll go straight to my outro. The video will end with me just slamming down the controller, going full screen, go, nope, no, zombie dogs, nope.
So any zombie dogs?
Any zombie dogs.
Huh, I'm trying to think if there are any like zombie dogs that are in like
other games,
newer games.
I know in Resident Evil 4 there's zombie dogs. In most Resident Evil games. I haven't seen any in Outlast yet. I did the DLC and I haven't seen one, so I'm happy. Slenderman didn't have one, thank fuck. And I think that was the only 2 horrors I've done. Spooky House doesn't have them because it's a cartoon, so it wouldn't count if it was a cartoon in essence. But yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much just them 2. So for now, anyway, I'm safe. We'll see if I start doing other ones later down the road. I might overcome that fear. Who knows, Kev? We all overcome our fears in life. Maybe with the people in the comments help, I will overcome that. But listen,
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. But Kev, no, thanks very much for taking time to record this with us. It was a pleasure kind of learning more about the man behind the GOO. Well, I'll probably entitle the video "The Man Behind the GOO." But any last words, advice, or anything for the people who are watching this video? Little message around.
Just be yourself. That's the only thing I could really say. It's try not to hide behind masks, and just be yourself. Be who you are. So that's all I can say.
Good advice if I ever heard it. Anyways, Kev, thanks very much for being with us. And everybody watching, if you like, subscribe, join the Kamikaze and the KevGuuey tribe. And we'll see you guys